Hello.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
Good, thank you. Everything's good. It's about to rain, so I'm very excited for the clean air and
Okay.
such.
Good, good. Are you in Mexico City?
No, Santiago.
Oh, Santiago. Oh, Santiago. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't hear. Well, hello. I always, yeah, always happy to speak French in Santiago.
Yeah, well, it's been a while since we last talked. I think 4 years. And
Mm.
it's striking, or maybe not, how it feels like we haven't moved forward as a society from your perspective as someone who's consistently been on the front lines of both music and activism. Do you think we are caught in cycles of struggle, or do you still see signs of real systematic progress?
Well, I would say that struggle is relentless throughout human history, and from the time of Spartacus to today, that the oppressor and oppressed have have gone against one another, and it's no different now. We're in a particularly dangerous epoch right now with the Trump administration, which not just with the racism, not just with the rise of fascism, but with the anti-science attitude that the world is in peril with global warming. And while this particular today's problems are no different from the solutions to problems in the past. And that is first and foremost the realization that each one of us, we are not, history is not something that happens. History is something that we make. And by we, I mean you, me, and everybody listening to this right now. The world is not going to change itself. That is up to you. And while that may sound like a daunting task, the good news is when the world has changed in progressive, radical, or even revolutionary ways, it has been changed by people no different than anyone listening to us right now. People who have not had more intelligence, courage, access, privilege, power. The world changes by people standing up in their place, in their time, in their school, in their place of work, in their country, in solidarity, and with humanity and heart at the forefront, and just doing the work. That's how the world changes.
Yeah, definitely. Well, talking about your latest single, Pretend You Remember Me, Leonard Peltier appears in the video as a symbol. Why did you choose to include his presence in a narrative centered on immigration? And what parallels do you see between his story and the ongoing struggles of immigrant communities today?
Sure. Well, Leonard Peltier was the Native American activist, one of the leaders of the American Indian movement, who spent over 40 years in jail for a crime he did not commit. Rage Against the Machine was a big part of the raising money for his legal defense over the course of the decade. He's become a very close friend. He's a person of great integrity and great wisdom, and he received a partial pardon from Joe Biden, so he's relatively free now. And when I was directing the video for Pretend You Remember Me, I thought it would be ideal to have someone with the wisdom and the perspective of Leonard Peltier shedding, having his voice in the video, and his comments in the video, which are no human being is illegal. Every inch of this country is stolen land. That the only thing that needs to be deported is injustice, is racism, are really, like deep wisdom that needs to be, that it certainly is in harmony with the message of the song, but coming from such a legendary figure, I thought it was important for people to hear him say it.
Hmm. Well, talking about that, you directed the video, the music video yourself. What challenges did you face stepping behind the camera, and what kind of emotional impact were you hoping to create for viewers with those visuals?
Yeah, I love directing videos. I've directed a number of them through the years, and to be able to write the song, create the song, perform the song, record the song, and then follow through with the vision for the video is one that like I love doing that. And with these recent ICE raids, I spent a lot of time in protests on the streets of Los Angeles and met people whose families are endangered by these ICE raids, and asked them if they were willing to have the courage to be in the video. And a number of families on an afternoon, on a hot Los Angeles afternoon, showed up, and I just to see their faces, like this is real. This is not some sort of abstract concept of illegal aliens, taking over the country. These undocumented people, they're human beings with families, just like you and me. All they want is a better life for for their children, for their parents, for their families. And it's the terrible lie told by the Trump administration that they were only going to be going after violent criminals. These are grandmas. These are children being ripped out of their preschools and separated from their families. It's a total racist, fascist agenda that is being enacted on these people. And I wanted in the video for us, for you, to see their faces and to see the humanity in the people that are being torn apart from their families.
Mm. Well, given everything that it's happening in the world and how social media is always there ready to call out artists for what they say or don't say, do you think musicians today are expected to respond too quickly to global events? Is there still room for slow burning or thoughtful protest work?
Yeah, well, I mean, the social media. First of all, I'm no expert on social media. Let me just say that right off the bat. And I just sort of, in my life, while I do, I am the person that runs my social media, so you can blame me for anything that you see or don't see there. But I do think that it can be a tool. Certainly on social media with regards to the ICE raid, people are warning one another in advance when ICE is in this neighborhood in an immediate way, where the neighborhoods can show solidarity, with their friends and neighbors to protect and defend their neighborhood against, the fascist thugs. But with regards to artists, I wouldn't say it's uniquely the responsibility of artists. I think that whether it's journalists like yourself, whether it's students, whether it's people working in factories or schools or whatever, that we all have the responsibility in this time to sort of look within ourselves and not leave behind who we are in our vocation, not leave behind what we think in what we do, not leave behind how we act in the realms of our workplace. And I try to do that at every show and on every record. And I think that people, that might be some advice that I would share, is don't leave behind who you are and what you do.
Well, kind of related to what we're talking about, a band that has been very vocal on their views of the world and politics and such is Kneecap. And you recently described them as the Rage Against the Machine of this generation.
Yeah.
And with everything that happened today, that they went to court again. And I wanted to ask you, given the legal pressure they're currently facing, what does that say to you about the space protest artists occupied today?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that, again, they happen to be musicians, but standing up fearlessly for the oppressed, standing up fearlessly for those who a genocide is being inflicted upon, that to me is very much the spirit of Rage Against the Machine, While at the same time, I always have to, when this topic comes up, because people can take things out of context, I think it is important to acknowledge that anti-Semitism is real, that the persecution of Jewish people historically resonates in people today, which causes fear and anxiety, which is not unwarranted. It is not an excuse for silencing artists who are standing up against an ongoing massacre of children on a daily basis. But I do think to leave that out of the conversation would also be unfair. But in times like these, I think, again, no matter, Kneecap becomes a distraction. The fact that we're talking about Kneecap it plays into the hands of those who are massacring the innocents right now. The issue is the oppressor and oppressed in Palestine right now. The issue, here's the thing, if at a bare minimum, if we can just please agree, stop killing children. The killing of children is wrong. Those who kill children should be held accountable. Those, to me, do not feel like controversial statements, and yet they are in this day and age. And so whether it's a band like Kneecap or whether it's an artist like myself or a journalist like you, that at a bare minimum says, that is wrong. We have to draw a line, and we have to save people who are in danger and are being starved. Stop killing children. Stop starving children, period.
Yeah. Well, very well said. And I think it's a very sensitive topic for people. And what we were talking about, newer bands and artists, are there any younger artists, musicians, writers, outside the usual rock space who have challenged your own understanding of what an artist can be today?
That's interesting. Well, there certainly are some new artists in the rock space, whether it's neighborhood kids local group here in Los Angeles, or Grandson, K-Flay, Nova Twins in the UK. Dead Pioneers is a bold band. Those are. I appreciate Nadia's work with Pussy Riot, and sort of the way of sort of existing as an artist in a lot of different spaces, and getting across a political point of view, from installations to music to vibe. I think is impressive, and I try in my own life too. Like I have a play opening Chicago at the Goodman Theater in October. I make music. I direct the videos. I write the songs. I play shows, trying in a lot of different ways to curate, a life as an artist that is one that again doesn't leave behind who I am and what I'm doing in each one of these ventures.
Yeah. Well, I recently came across an interview where you mentioned that there's no clear future for Rage Against the Machine. And a lot of comments under that piece were fans in Chile expressing how much they will love to experience one last Rage Against the Machine concert here. What are your thoughts on that?
My thoughts are I would love to experience one Rage Against the Machine concert there too.
Any chances?
It's no secret that Santiago is like the greatest band in the world. Like there's a lot of evidence to support that theory. There's a lot of video evidence to support that theory. I know that whenever I've played there in whatever with Rage, with Prophets of Rage as a solo artist, that it is a unique and beautiful and spiritual experience connecting with the fans in Chile in a way that is unlike anywhere else. And so I look forward to playing again in Santiago in the not too distant future. There's no news, unfortunately, on Rage Against the Machine.
Well, and just to wrap up, I was preparing for this interview. I realized that you're actually the musician I've interviewed the most. And if I'm correct, the last time we spoke, you had something related to Chile in your home studio. Do you still have that piece of art? I don't know if it was a picture, a photo.
It's a Victor Jara. It's some artwork and some of his lyrics, which it's actually moved from the studio. It's in my house it's upstairs in my house now. But Victor Jara is one of the principal inspirations for my career and life as an activist. That the idea that you can really integrate the things that you deeply believe in a fearless way in what it is that you do, in how you act, in how you treat people, in the songs that you write, in the political action that you take. He is at the apex of that as far as inspirations go. And I've had been able to, I spent some time with his widow. I've been, put flowers on his grave. Every time I go there, I had the last time I was there, I got to play Victor Jara music in the state, in the arena where he perished. And he's an artist that is very, very near and dear to my heart. And keeping his spirit, his work alive. I think that's something that I try to do at every show I play, wherever it is. And I think of him often.
Well, thank you for that. And I can't quite finish this interview by not asking you if any chances of coming back to Chile, even solo.
No. Solo is how it's going to be. And right now hopefully this Tom Morello solo rock album that I am working on diligently will be out in early 2026, and hopefully Latin America tour to follow in 2026. So I can say honestly, I cannot wait to get back to Santiago. I've had some of my favorite shows and moments of my life have been there, and I look forward to getting back.
Well, I can't wait either, and hope to see you soon here in Chile.
I look forward to it. Thank you very much for another thoughtful interview.